So guys, this is personally something I do not pay much attention to whatsoever, but I see it every now and then, and I just see like little videos about stuff, maybe on TikTok or maybe on something like this, involving this topic right here, what we're going to speak about right here, right now, and that is men versus women 2021 and how things are going. I just see certain things in certain people and videos, like talking about like, and these are smart people too. I ain't gonna lie, they're pretty smart. They know what's going on, and I'm not sure if I believe what they're saying, that if it's going to be true 100%, but it's like, you know, anything can happen. And these guys are predicting that the battle that's going on, and I know there's a battle going on between men and women, they think it's going to get much worse in the next 5 years as to how things are right now in this day and age, with all the fighting going back and forth between men and women. Now, I don't know if it's going to get much worse in the next 5 years. It potentially could. It's just something no one knows for sure. And I believe there's always going to be good men and there's always going to be good women. And I just think people are getting more stubborn to this day. People are getting more insecure to this day. People don't want to put themselves out there more and more to this day. It's like everybody wants to be the alpha today, but not everybody can be the alpha. Women, it's not their job to be alpha. It's a man's job to be alpha. And it's up to a woman, and I'm not saying she has to, because nobody has to do a damn thing. I don't blame women for wanting to be independent or nothing like this. And there's a lot of men that think otherwise. I think if you're a woman and you want to be independent, that's on you. That's your choice and your decision. You don't have to be under the roof of a man. And there's some women that really do not want to be controlled, like whatsoever. And I'm not saying every man, even if a woman lives under the roof of a man, I'm not saying he's going to control her by any means. But I feel like some women don't even want the thought or to entertain the thought of having like a man being better than her. And you know what, like, that's really on you. And I think a lot of women are getting it stuck in their head, if I'm being honest, just to think that the man is superior. Like, you just have to have better communication with the guy you're with. Like, I don't know. I just know what a lot of these women are like. And obviously, they're not all the same. Whoever says they are is full of it. They're not. They are not all the same. Because I've been with many different ones myself, and I know they're not all the same. There might be a lot of similarities in a lot of them, that is true, but there's differences. And you just have to figure out what you're dealing with at the end of the day, man or woman. You got to figure out what you're dealing with. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you want. If it's what you want, get it. If it's not what you want, don't get it. Like I said, I just think there's more stubbornness today, more than ever. And I personally have really high standards, because high standards protects you from low quality experiences. And it's not a bad thing to have high standards. You should. Everybody should. And I think that's why a lot of people are single today. But it's just not getting to a point where it's like, it's almost like nothing's ever going to be the perfect time. It's like, you could be really on point as a man. And I feel as if the girl doesn't feel like she's on your level, even if she's like doing well for herself, if she feels you're above her even a little bit, she might be stubborn and might not like give it to you. She might not give herself to you. And I think these are the things that's happening. And I even notice this with certain, with girls that I talk to or something like this. If they feel I'm above them, it intimidates them. It makes them feel insecure. It makes them feel like I will do better than them. It's like they want to feel like they are better than you, so you won't leave them. But I'm going to be totally honest, guys. If I had a woman that was more high value than me, I would take her. I would take her any day of the week. Are you joking? That's because I don't feel insecure within myself. I trust myself to be with somebody like that. And I'm not talking about high value just as in looks. Everything plays a factor in being high value. Everything plays a factor. How you are mentally, how you are in every way, shape, and form plays a factor in how you are high value. And I just feel like if you were dating a woman and she feels like you are much, much, much more above her, not all of them, but some of them get insecure and they don't want to do it. And this is what I noticed. And nobody can tell me I'm wrong about this because I've experienced this firsthand multiple times with multiple different girls that all had a lot of potential that I seen. And I didn't even fall in love with the potential. I just seen the potential. We might be able to work something out, and it didn't work out. Not because of me, because of insecurities on them. And like I said, not all women are like that, because there are very high value men in this world that have a girl and they are much above her, clear as day. I see so many couples on social media. I know what I see and I know what's going on within the couple. So I'm not saying every girl doesn't want a high value man, because at the end of the day, every girl does want a high value man that's going to be able to take care of her and provide like a man should. And I'm not saying take care of her and she does nothing. I don't believe in that either. I mean, it can happen. If that's what floats your boat, go ahead. But there's just some women too that like nothing's good enough for them. Nothing can be perfect. It's like if the guy is really high value, he's too good. He's too sharp. He's too good for me is what she's telling herself in her own mind. She has these fears, these insecurities, and these doubts of herself that this guy's going to leave her, so she won't do it. And then it's like a guy like below her, or like a guy that's not as good as this guy, and now it's like this guy isn't good enough for her. She's not going to take him because of this, this, and this. So it's like, no wonder why you're single, because you can't even make a decision. Like, you can't even make a decision. The high value guy, you couldn't take him because of your fears and insecurities. The middle class guy, or whatever you want to say, you couldn't take this guy because he wasn't good enough. You don't want the guy below because he's not good enough. It's just like, it's all these things. Of course you're going to be single. Of course. And I've dealt with so many stubborn women in my life. Stubborn. And that's why they're single, and they end up single for the rest of eternity. Because they can't make a decision. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being single. But there's a lot of people that are single that don't want to be single. because you can't make a decision. And I'm single right now, but I can make a decision. I've made many decisions. I was single, I was not single. I was single, I was not single. Many, many times. Right now, I just so happen to be single. It doesn't mean I'm going to be single in a month. It doesn't mean I'm going to be single next year. Like, things always happen. But this is just the way that I see things. This is the reason why things are the way they are. I think it comes down to stubbornness and like ego, fears, insecurities. And I think most of this stems, and I'm not picking on women, but I think most of it stems on women. Not all of it, but most of it. And I'm not saying all the guys out there are saints, because it's not true. I'm just saying women by nature are more insecure than men. And it's proven. Don't shoot the messenger. Go look. So, and like I said, I'm not picking on anybody. I ain't doing that. You guys heard me say it already in this video. There are good women out there. There are good men out there. It all exists. It's always going to exist. But the reason why like marriage rates are like failing, like the reason and the percentage of why it's so high on like divorce and stuff like this, like it comes down to stubbornness. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Most of it is. The reason why things are the way they are for the most part is because of stubbornness. Because of lack of growth. You're stubborn because you don't even know who you are. You're stubborn because you can't make a decision because you don't know who you are. Because you lack growth. You can't make decisions to save your life. Because you lack growth. And you lack depth. I was talking to somebody, I don't know if this conversation was yesterday or the day before yesterday, but because I talk to a lot of people on the phone 2-3 times a day sometimes. Mostly it's just a call a day, sometimes it's 2 or 3. But I was talking to this person and I let them know, like, look, like, I was ready for what I truly deserved at the age of like 16, 17, 18 years old. Up till right now, I was literally ready for what I deserved, relationship-wise, and I've had so many experiences with them. And it just so happened that nothing worked out long-term the way it could have. And I was with so many different females that they shot themselves in the foot so many times, and it just goes to show once again, you know? It proves my point. A lot of these women that I was with feared me. Insecurities, doubts in themselves, low self-esteem within themselves. When I had none of that. I was perfectly fine, perfectly happy, perfectly comfortable. Didn't feel any of that stuff. Didn't even pop up into my mind. I feel good. I'm doing good. We're together right now, but you're giving me all these problems. You're thinking of all these things. Those things don't even cross my mind the way it crosses their minds. So once again, it just goes to show what's going on. And there's this whole movement that women are speaking on, oh, men ain't shit 2021. I think it's really because women fed men up so much to the point where men are looking at women the same way. And guys, I am not involved in any of this stuff. I ain't bashing women. I ain't bashing men. I can sit here and say women ain't shit. I ain't gonna do it. Because there are good in all genders, across the board, everywhere. I'm just not a part of the movement. I'm just speaking on it from what I know. And like I said, like, it's a complicated topic, isn't it? But it's got to be talked about at least some. And it's where we stand at today in this modern society. With all this stuff going on. Women saying men aren't shit, but it's women that are making men like this more than anything. It just, I don't even care about it. I'm just keeping it a buck. I really don't care about it. I don't even care about relationships or any of this stuff. I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to do my thing. And I'm going to live my life. With or without anybody the show goes on, guys. I ain't bagging on some girl. Like, when I was younger, I used to think that way. Like, I should have the right girl in my life. I don't care about that anymore. If it happens, it happens. It's going to be a bonus. It's not my whole life. And I just think everybody has to think the same as that. Even other women out there. Know your worth. Focus on yourself for a while. Do your inner work. Understand that there are good men out there. What do you mean men aren't shit? There are a ton of good men out there. Like, it makes no sense. I think that's a lot of toxic behavior right there. And even the guys, they're no better. Like, who cares about each gender? Just focus on yourself. When you focus on yourself, you have nothing else to worry about. If men were completely focused on themselves and women were completely focused on themselves, they would both be the best that they can be, and they would easily come together with no insecurities attached. But it's like there's so much tension today between the two. And like I said, I ain't speaking for myself because I don't fit under any of these categories. I'm open-minded. What's meant to happen is going to happen. I ain't gonna force anything. I ain't gonna try to do any of these things. The right thing is going to come to me, and it's going to be easy. It's not going to give me a hard time. If it's going to give me a hard time, if it's going to bring me down, if it's going to make me feel negative emotions and things like this, it's got to go. Because it's a toxic and it's a cancer in my life. It's got to go. You have to do your thing because I'm good right now. If you come around me and I feel worse, you need help. You need something done within your own damn self. So go over there in the chicken coop and go and lay with the animals, because you ain't laying with this animal. You ain't laying with this dog. You can go over there with the chickens and work on yourself. So that's all I gotta say about that, to be honest. And it is what it is. Either way, like I said, I don't care. You have to be of value to my life, and I'm automatically of value to your life if you want to come into my life, because I make myself of value. Because I value myself every day. If you're not valuing yourself every day, you're not going to become of value to somebody else. You're needy. You think that things are just going to come together, like without anything. Like, you have to be something for somebody else. You can't just exist. It's not good enough. And you're going to be toxic, and you're going to ruin something good. So, and before I cut this video, just let me finish with saying, this isn't a video to bash either gender. It's just facts. There are both good women and there are both good men in this world. We create more of these, and we create more opportunities within the sexes if people are more focused on themselves and don't have this codependent negative energies within themselves, because that's where there's all this tension, there's all these insecurities, there's all these things that is making you not be who you are. And it's just the truth. I will never have that attitude, oh, F all women, or all these things. That's just, I don't even know like what to think about that. It's just not the right mentality. It's just not. Focus on yourself instead of thinking that way. Don't depend on them. And the same thing with women. Don't depend on men if they're giving you a hard time. And if you're just attracting nothing but men that's making you say F men, they're nothing, they ain't shit, like all this stuff, like maybe you have to fix something within yourself if you're attracting all those types of men. And that's all I gotta say. So I'm cutting this video off. It is what it is. The video's done. I see people talking about this stuff often today, so I want to share my thoughts on this stuff, and it is what it is. We have to do better, guys. We have to focus more on ourselves, like I said, to eliminate insecurities, to bring us closer to love, because as human beings, both men and women, we were born to love. We were born to love each other. Like, it's just what we do. We're not born to hate each other. We're not born to do those things. It's not natural. Like, we should easily be able to come together. But there's all this nonsense, garbage out there today. Oh, you have to play a game on women like this, or you have to play a game on men like this. Just text them this, but then when they reply, you have to wait 2 hours to reply again, and then after that you have to leave them on delivered for the rest of the day, and then the next day you can talk to them a little bit more. And there's all these games. Like, what is going on, guys? Like, get together. Where's the authenticity? Get together. Talk about your feelings together. How do you feel about this person? How do they feel about you? Like, I'll never understand why people cannot just make things simple and get together and be vulnerable and say it how it really is. Like, what is wrong? That's where things are failing. People are so stuck in their ways today. Like, that's all I see, and that's what's going on. So what do? We got to get better ourselves to make things better. And that's the path I've been on ever since I started seeing why things were the way that they were. I'm like, I can't do this. And those things that happened, that rubbed me the wrong way in the past, is what motivated me so much to just work hard on myself and keep seeking information and continue to keep living life and go through more experiences and gain more knowledge and wisdom and all these other things, right? So that's what happened. There's both good men and women in this world. We just got to create more of both and do better. But anyways, guys, I'm going to cut this video off now. I'm feeling slightly dehydrated and a little bit hungry right now, so I'm going to get some water, some honey, a banana, then I'm going to have one more full meal, and then I'm going to head off to bed. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with the next videos. Peace.